Okay. Let's go ahead and kick this meeting off. I'm going to go ahead and officially open the meeting at 6 o'clock on November 11th. So kind of welcome everybody to the meeting here. It's a little different than doing it in person. For those who didn't get a chance to join us last week, hopefully we're a little more organized this time as we're still working and learning how to do the whole Zoom thing right now with everybody. So the quick housekeeping items, everybody, we kind of keep muted as we kind of go through the few things on the agenda, which I'll share the agenda here in 2 seconds. Okay, so our agenda is right here. So we're going to go through the quick housekeeping items to explain how it works. Then we'll go through the our event updates, which Brandy will talk a little bit about. I'll show you kind of where the website, some of that information is as well. We'll go over the crime report, which is October. It's always lacking a little behind. I'll talk to you a little bit about our fundraising activities that the board has been working on. Then we'll go ahead and open it up for a general community discussion, concerns, anything like that. Things you'd like to let the rest of the community know, such as maybe some crimes you've seen or had happen to you. And then from there, we'll go into explain where the next meeting is going to be and how that's going to work, and then we'll close out the meeting from there. If you would like to say something, I believe you have the ability to let me know inside of the comments section. In the comments section, oh, I'm going to turn it on. Let's see. It's always a little harder, and it's in the chat. So there's a chat option in there. If you can just say something, hey, I'd like to speak, maybe raise your hand or something. And if I keep missing you for some reason, because like I said, I'm still trying to get used to this, then by all means, please, please, unmute yourself and say, and, let me know. But please hold all the community comments and stuff until we get down to the open discussion. That's what we're going to ask for. Okay. All right. So first thing on the agenda is actually going to be the our event section. This month we are doing Christmas family adoptions. If you like, this is our website, which is estacadacommunitywatch.org. You guys can find information here if you'd like. You just mouse over the community news, and then it's right here. All the information is on here as well, and I'm going to kind of let Brandy go through it from this point. Brandy, do you want to unmute yourself and talk about it?
Sure. Hi guys. Sorry I look like crap. I'm recovering from a pretty big surgery here. So our Christmas adoptions are going really, really good. We have a lot of families that we're taking care of, and it's pretty exciting because we've had some community members step up and want to take over a specific family. The way that we're doing that in order to keep privacy is we will give that wish list to that group, let them take care of the wish list for that specific family. They bring it back to us. We will still deliver it to the family and let them know if that person wants to be named, they'll be named. If not, they'll be anonymous. The date that I need all donations for gifts to be in by is the 20th by noon at our office. That's December 20th at noon. Our office, if you don't know where that is, it's right inside the Estacada Community Center, which is over on 200 Clubhouse Drive, and we are down by where the covered parking is. We have a sign on our door. It's pretty easy to see. The big thing is that I wanted to say is I'm really, really impressed with everybody. We've had so many people reach out wanting to help, and especially with the surgeries I'm going through, it's been really, really awesome to get all that help. The big thing too, we want to make sure is that if you want to donate a gift from the wish list, it needs to be new and unwrapped, because we want to make sure they're going to the right people and they don't get mixed up somehow. What else do we need to know? Oh, we're going to be doing a wrap party on the 21st. We will be doing that safely. So I'm still working out the kinks on how that's going to work in order to keep in COVID restrictions. So as soon as I know how to make that happen properly, I will update the page and make sure everyone's aware. Joel, is there anything else I should be mentioning?
As people are bringing and dropping things off, and we've actually received them at the office here, that's when we're putting a cross out through the what's been received. So
Yeah, that way we don't get too much of each item, because there are some things on there that's only for one person. So yeah, we're trying to cross off as we get things. We also, whatever's not brought, we will go out. So these families will definitely be covered. But it's pretty exciting. I'm really excited, with the amount of families we're able to do this for. It's pretty cool. I love our community, and it's just proven time and time again how great you guys all are, because everybody's stepping up to help and be a part of this, and it's really cool.
the list looks really daunting on here. That's only because we've broken it down by like, for example, 21 women over the age of 20, for example, 20 men over the age of 20. We kind of broke it down a little bit to help with understand the ages and what you'd be purchasing for, and maybe help if you want to only purchase for kids or something. It helps you kind of sort out,
Yeah, it looks scarier than it is.
yeah. So, some things are duplicated, but they're duplicated for, so, and this is actually for a total, I believe it's 16 families,
It's actually 17.
17 families.
It was 16, but then we found that there was a family that had gotten in before the deadline that we had missed, so we added them on. And that's just because they met before the deadline, and it was our board had said everyone that came in before the deadline we would approve. So we were only going to do 10, and I say kudos to our board, because they said nope, we're going to step up and do everybody that was nominated on time, and I think that's amazing. I think that's great. So good job to our board for making that decision. Yeah.
Definitely. So there is a question, Jen. I will address the questions here after everything's kind of, one second here. Yeah, this is basically where it's at. And again, if you guys want to see what's here, and learn a little bit more about it, see if you get the date and again or something, or contact us with a question. All of it's, if you go to estacadawatch.org, and then under community news, you just kind of mouse over it. There's a drop down menu to the community family adoptions, or at the very top of the entire page, there's actually there's a button right here you can click, and it gives you a countdown of when that is supposed to be ending. So let me put these guys in here. As you guys know, you go to a waiting room, and then I got to manually let you guys in. I'm sure there's an easier way, but I have no idea how to do that. I'm not a Zoom master. No, I'm getting there.
Sorry to interrupt you, Joel, but Jay did just message me, said he's trying to get into the meeting.
I literally just let it.
Okay, cool.
Jen King has asked, is Estacada Adopt a Family the same as Community Watch Adopt a Family? Utilize the Estacada Adopt a Family and just wondered if it was the same. I don't think so. If there's another one out there, this is ours. There might be another one running through the church or something that we may not be aware of. I know they had one a while back. They said that they weren't going to be doing it this year, and maybe they changed their mind. So if there is no one out there, we haven't been specifically identified. Haven't been told about it. Sorry. There is an additional, what is it, 8 families, Brandy, or 6 families that are on top of the other ones that are being adopted?
It is. There are 8 families that were adopted previously before we had our nominations by a company that's working with us, and they're doing it the same way. They're basically got the wish list and the description of, like, say, girl 9 years old, boy 6 years old, that kind of thing, in order to fill those wish lists, but they will still be going through us. So our total actually with that group comes to 25 families, which is so cool. So cool.
So it's going to be a good Christmas for some people. It's such a hard year. So okay, if there's any more questions or anything else about the Christmas family adoptions, please just bring them up during the make a note and bring up during the open community discussion section. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and unless Don, do you have anything? Don's one of our board members. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up for this? Nope, you're good. Okay, cool.
Can I address a question that was just asked? Because I can answer that pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Kate had asked, what's the best way of donating, by going down the wish list or taking on a whole family? Honestly, that's up to you. Most people are finding that they can go down the wish list, pick a few items that they know they can go grab, and just do that. That seems to be the easiest way. There are a few families or groups out there that wanted to take on a whole family because that's something they had in their mind already to do, and they felt going through us was the best way because we already had it organized. But yeah, either way is fine. But if you're going to take on a whole family, I would say let me know within the next day or so, because we're starting to fulfill wish lists, and we might have part of that family already covered. So yeah, that's the best way I would say.
Also keep in mind that since we are a 501c3, that we can write you a receipt for you to
Yep.
have tax write-off later. So let's see. But yep, so if you don't have the ability to go shopping, but you still wanted to be able to help out, we do have a online donation form specifically for the family adoptions that we take that cash and we go and shop for the family for items that are needed. That's another way to do it as well. So, but I honestly think it's funner if you have the ability to go shop and pick out some things for the families. So that's what I highly recommend. Okay. So is there anything else before we jump over to crime report? Okay, so we're gonna go and jump in there. I'm pulling the website up as well to show you guys this, but also I want to make sure you guys understand where it's at so you guys can check it out yourselves if we post new stuff up. So under the Estacada Community Watch from the home section, it's right under the community tools, you'll see police reports. You click on that. As we get them, we put them up here. We're trying to get them to be a little more, get like last month sooner, but they seem to be trailing about a month and a half behind. So we got October's. Actually, it's about 2 months behind almost. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm trying to move this out of the way because it's blocking me here. All right. So I did some preliminary kind of looking at this to kind of get an idea if we're doing better, doing worse. In some cases we're actually right around the same from last year, except for a few areas that we have gotten better at and a few areas we've gotten worse at. So how to read these on here is you have dispatch calls. That would be if you called 911 or non-emergency and they sent a police officer out. Self-initiated calls are ones where the officer was driving around, maybe got flagged down by somebody, or saw something where they maybe pulled someone over, or had a communication with someone on the street. Follow-ups are where maybe they had a planned scheduled time to go out and check up on something that they maybe already had contact with. So the total calls for our area was 231 calls. Purple, by the way, is the Estacada unit. That's the one that the city contracts with to have them come in and be in the city on a normal basis. Other units may be the ones that are in the area or maybe just been driving through. So that's who that is. Okay, so these are about the calls. So this is how long if you called into 911 or to non-emergency, how long you were holding before you actually got dispatched. Once the dispatch, this is the time it took for them to get out on site. So the Estacada unit, once they were dispatched, it took 8 minutes and 24 seconds for general calls. For priority calls, 1 and 2, they took 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay. Other units seems like they must have been in the area a little or less tied up. They got here in 6 minutes and 38 seconds, and priority calls 6 minutes and 56 seconds. So let's see. Total calls, September, this is when we had the fires. So you're gonna see a pretty high jump in there. if I remember right, if you look at the one that's kind of behind it and the faded, yep, that's from last year. So you can see technically we've got up a few calls from last year, which is, you know, about average. You see kind of bounces around a little bit here. This kind of breaks down all the calls and everything little by little. I'm not going to really go too deep into these. Just want to give you guys a few of the top ones, such as, let's see, what was it? Burglary, we had one burglary. We had a stolen vehicle, looks like last month. Let's see, some threats and harassment seem to be one of the bigger ones. The biggest calls last month were suspicious and vehicles, persons roaming around. And this is from the dispatch calls. And then the second, it was the second biggest one for self-initiated calls. So let's see if there's anything. If you put anything in the questions in there, I'll take it back to you because I can't see the comments right now the way everything minimized. So bear with me. So this here kind of went through and shows you all the entire year where the numbers were. So, and then it shows you the top 5, I believe, top 5. Yeah, top 5 worst ones for the year. And that's what we got currently right now. It's suspicious people, vehicles. It seems like our second biggest one is actually alarms that go off. And then the third biggest one has been threats and harassments. So welfare checks are a big one. And then so we're assisting the public. Let's see. We had 7 thefts total last month here. That'd be probably between calls and self-initiated. So let me see if this is dispatched. So, but you can kind of, a lot of these numbers you can look at yourself here. So I don't want to run everybody through them constantly. So I think these were the self-initiated ones. Yeah, self-initiated. This kind of care broke this way they break it down here. They show you what's gotten worse this year versus last year. What's kind of stayed the same. It's talking basically comparing October 2019 to October 2020. So this got worse. This stayed the same, and these ones got better. So these are new ones that weren't reported during October last year, but they reported this year. So kind of gives you an idea a little bit where the change is going. If you guys are looking at these for each month, gives you a better idea where the kind of the trends are going as well. So this talks about the reports that were written. So as far as how to be taken and what it was for. So who took them. This gives you an idea roughly where I think it was like top 8 crimes were. So reported crimes and traffic crashes. So this kind of gives you a few of the top ones. Give you an idea.
I had a question.
Some stuff was. Yes, what's going on?
Well, I was curious on response times. Now, is that from the time the 911 call was initiated, or is there some other criteria? I've never seen calls responded to as quickly as 20 minutes. Very seldom is the officer right in the area.
This is from dispatch. This is not when the call is initiated, but when they actually dispatch them to when they arrive on scene. The average time is 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay. For all calls, and then for priority calls, it's 8 minutes.
Yeah. So if the general person in public, I'm saying though, don't expect to see those kind of times. That's unrealistic from the time you call and you're in an emergency. It's not likely they're going to be in there 2 to 8 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, the way to read this is it's input to dispatch. So when you call in and you actually reach the dispatch and explain to them, when they start putting it into dispatch, you take this number here. This is the average, of course, for this type of a call. So you take this number here and this number here, you add it together. And that's going to give you your average from the minute you call 911 and actually talk to somebody to when the unit would arrive on scene. So that's basically, so this one, for example.
Okay.
So yeah, if it could be different for longer for different.
I think those I think they're somewhat optimistic in my opinion, because I've called for police and fire for different things and never seen times as good as those. Add them together, it's getting closer, but still they're just in the area. Usually they're off somewhere else and got to be called into the area,
There's been
or they may even be busy on another call.
exactly, and there's times I've actually have called 911 to get a unit out, and I got a call back from them 20 minutes later. They didn't actually even come out. We had the person had left already. So yes, I agree that not all the calls are there. That's supposed to be the average time. So for the based on the month of that month what you saw. So traffic enforcement in the city of Estacada. Let's see, there was 4 citations issued, 31 warnings given, and an offense or incident report was done, and I have no idea what other means for them. So let's see, it kind of breaks it down the same way, just with a different look to it. So and here's it again. So, and that's the crime report. So you should be basically all of them kind of laid out the same. You should just different information for each month. So if you guys want to take a look at those, they're real easy to get to. You just come into the to this area and you just click on the ones that are here. And we, as soon as we get them, we add them in. We add them in. So like I said, we are trying to work on getting them earlier, but this may be the earliest we can get these. Let's see, what is the next one? Is there any questions regarding the crime reports? Trying to find the chat button. I know it's in here somewhere.
You have a couple on the chat.
Okay, thanks. I had to find the chat again. Is other units other Clackamas County deputies or state police or both? From what I understand, it falls for other Clackamas County units that are not part of the contracted unit that we bring into Estacada that's assigned to Estacada. But they may be, like I said, people in the area. They may have been dispatched from, you know, could be down in Eagle Creek area or whatever to come out to this section. That's what they're there for. So that's what we're just referring to. I will check with Lieutenant Coleus, who is our acting chief of police from the Clackamas County. And just so you guys do know that they assign every contract city from Clackamas County, when they contract with the city, they assign a lieutenant or somebody to be the acting chief of police for that city. And that is Lieutenant Coleus for us. So in case you wanted to find out who that was, I will reach out to him and see if I can get some clarification. And if he doesn't know, then I'll reach out to Sarah McClellan, I think is her name. She is the our liaison with the sheriff's office for any neighborhood watch stuff that we do. Is there any more questions? Okay. Let's see. Next thing is fundraising activities. All right, let me jump into that one. So the board has been working on a few things, trying to get some fundraising stuff going together. We've talked and voted on some things. And so some of the things we're doing for fundraising activities are, you may see this one section of ad we put down here. We went through and we limited everything we could, and specifically try to put things that are family friendly, have to do with community watch, community members, anything we can, and we allow some ads to come on here because it gives us a little bit of money every month as a fundraiser, and it doesn't really impede much on anyone. So we got that. The other big one that people have been asking about is shirts and stickers. So we went through and got special ones made up. If you are a member of Estacada Community Watch, as in you've been registered with us, fill out an application, that type of thing, you can actually get this particular logo. You come through us, we order it through the local, we have a local company here that prints the shirts up for us, or hats, or kind of anything you want. Come to us, let us know what you want. We go through, we pay us, we order it, we get a % back, and we'll give it to you that way. So our, let's see, how do you get out of this thing? All right. Our board of directors, officers, things like that, we all have different versions. So if you ever wondering if we have our shirts and we're wearing them around and you see someone of the community watch, and you see it says director, and it's a board of directors. So you kind of know who's responsible where. An officer is an officer as far as like I'm the presiding officer for the group. Brandy is our events coordinator. She's an officer. Treasurer is an officer. Secretary, that's all officer. So the patrol stuff is still a lot of work, but we do have a patrol option for that. It's gonna be a while till we see that. It's probably till the first quarter next year sometime. We're hoping to get them up and going. But this one here, it says supporters. If you're not a member of Estacada Community Watch, but you'd like to go get a shirt for the Community Watch, then these ones will be available without coming to us. You can just go directly down to the award-winning embroidery right here in town. And I got to get the new copy. They'll probably be ready sometime next week. You can go and you pick out your shirt. They'll put this logo on it, and then you can pay them and then walk out the door with it. You don't have to come through us for that. So other things we're working on is these are what we're calling clings. Basically, they get cut right down the center. But for these will be things that go on your window. So we're working on exactly how these will be distributed and how you can get your hands on these and stuff and what these mean. But that's also another fundraiser that we were working on. But yeah, we have the ability now for you to go get hats, shirts. You can even get logos with pants on it and purchase it from a local. And basically, that helps support a local company as well. So, are there any questions regarding any of the shirts or clothing or anything like that?
Just thought I'd bring up one thing. The location is across from Justin Video next to the Mossy Rock.
Yep. It's called award-winning embroidery. And, I might also make a form here or something like with a map and stuff where to order and give some information about that here on the website. I have not built something yet, but I will get something up for you guys.
Joel, I think it's actually called award embroidery. I don't think it's award winning.
Oh, okay. Award embroidery. Like I said, just across from Justin Video downtown. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can always reach out. I'm happy to help today. Let's see. And as far as stickers, we are going to be getting some stickers. They'll be here in the office. If you guys would like to get them, it's the same ones you guys may have seen when we were down in the fire zone. People love these things. We went through boxes of them, but these little stickers here at the round. They peel off, maybe. Anyways, they do peel off. I don't have fingernails. And you can stick them on your vehicles and stuff. Okay, I think that's enough about fundraising and stuff. Just to double check before I move on, is there any questions at all from anyone? Okay. The next section is going to be our community open discussion. If you would like to speak during this time, please just either say something in chat. You can type it in the chat, I'll read it for you, or just say you'd like to be recognized, and I'll go ahead and unmute you, and you guys can say something. If you guys have any questions, anything you'd like, this is the time to bring it up. So. See, Kate really has unmuted herself. Oh, okay. Not Kate.
It's Kate is much more attractive than this. Hi, Joel. This is Mike Anderley. Thanks for letting me sit in. I just wanted to clarify on a couple things that were not that I didn't bring up today within the back and forth, and I'm sorry that was my initial jump off. I find that I get really passionate about things and drink a lot of coffee, so I get a little forward. One of the things that I didn't voice today that is certainly a concern of mine is underrepresentation, and that was one of the things that we had voiced this last summer within some of the the BLM rallies and stuff like that. So personally speaking, at our house, of course, we don't live in town. We're out in Garfield. Is that we host a lot of friends that live in the metro area. We host a lot of people that are LGBTQ. We host a lot of people that are, BIPOC. And it was only a couple weeks ago that a friend of mine was out here just to kind of decompress and spend the day. And she asked me to go to the grocery store with her because she is a 40-year-old Black woman that sports a big afro, and she felt that she needed some kind of someone to make her feel safer. So it's hard for me to hear those kinds of things. I mean, I want you to know wholeheartedly that we are dedicated to and love this community, like almost everyone that I meet out here. And, it's certainly our intention to try and set any kind of differences aside. But I want to make sure that what's being established is fostering an inclusive and safe environment so that people feel welcomed. One thing I hear a lot of is that, people that have spent their lives out here, that have raised their families out here, they feel a little resistant to the change that's happening to Estacada. And I will be the first to say that we are essentially part of that change. We've only been in town for 5 years. Now we're property owners, and we took a dilapidated piece of property and we've turned it around and, hopefully raise the property value for ourselves and our neighbors. And that's kind of our intent. But I want to make sure that within the growth that Estacada is anticipating, and that is sort of inevitable, that we make sure and foster an inclusive atmosphere so that people feel welcomed and safe, and quite frankly, hearing everyone speak and listening to the things that are being covered, I feel much more at ease with how professional and how well organized and the other things that are being done with outreach. I am essentially one of those people that is kind of a don't tread on me person. So when I hear want to take further steps to patrol, I get a little leery of that. Like I said, I can clearly see that you are not a malicious group, and that this is not any kind of anything to be concerned about. But I would like to continue to advocate for the people that I know who are underrepresented in this area, because essentially I'm a middle-aged white guy, and that's what I can do with my my position and my stature, is to make sure that the voices of the people that I love and respect, who don't have the same opportunities that I have, are heard through my participation. So yeah, I mean, I would like to. We do a lot of outreach stuff, sort of through the vessel of our school, which runs our food pantry. I think a lot of these efforts are aligned with community service, and we would love to participate and be part of the Christmas program. I'm going to follow up with your wife and talk some more about that. We've been looking for that kind of an opportunity. So yeah, mostly I just wanted to say sorry for coming in so hot. That's kind of my style. And I would like to hopefully be able to maintain the opportunity to just listen and have some input here and there. I feel that things were fairly well at odds this summer. I think that had a lot of political charge to it. We were evacuated, I'm sure, as with everybody else was in September, and that was something that was a real learning experience for our family, and we got to know our neighbors and literally depend on our neighbors. I mean, we live out here by the Youngbergs, and it was really amazing to watch people work together and take the kind of initiative that they did. I certainly, kind of got my wilderness fire badge by just staying around and watching the process. You know, clearly there's generations of people out here that it's not their first wildfire, and that was really eye-opening. So I have a lot of faith in the community. I have a lot of faith in my neighbors and the people that I continue to meet out here. And I don't want to be at odds, but I also am the kind of person that stands my ground and wants to make sure that I am being represented, and I'm doing the best to represent the people that I care for and that I love as well. So that's just kind of where I'm coming from. And Estacada is changing. Clackamas County is changing, and we can't really stop that progress, but we can help shape it, and yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that I feel much more settled just having heard you speak for the last 20 minutes about the kind of what's going on. But I am, curious as to what kind of steps you guys are planning on taking with further activity and really what you got planned.
Well, first of all, let's make sure you're done before I speak real quick. So, yeah, anything else there to say, Mike? Nope, you muted. Okay. So first of all, I'm hoping your house and your property was okay since you kind of lived out by the young birds, and I assume that was near the fire. So yep, I'm really happy to hear that. That's it's always a concern for anyone that was anywhere out there in the threat area. So, and hope you guys were able to recover from any sort of smoke damage, or if you had, you said you didn't leave the area. So I'm glad everything is well for you out there. And you are always welcome to come into a community meeting. That's what we have here for, is to speak. There's no limitations on them. There is no, we're not against anyone coming. We want everybody to come. We want everybody to be able to talk to us, share their concerns. And definitely, we have currently, I think, 3 or 4 of our board members on here, plus several of our officers. So they're all hearing it as well. So we can take all that back to any sort of future decisions we make as well. So I do appreciate you coming on here and taking the time to listen and speak. So I'm going to go ahead and 2 miles from Fall Creek. Yeah, it's definitely an area where there was under a lot of burn. The next one, actually, they raised your hand. Kurt, you'll be after Brandy, but Brandy had put her hand up first, okay? So Brandy, you want to go ahead, and I saw you raise your hand there.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that, yeah, we're a very open group to everybody, but we are also a very non-political group. We don't take a political stand. We take care of everybody. And I just wanted to reiterate that.
So yeah, it's one of the first things that we had agreed on, and the board was, if it's political, we push it aside. We focus on our community, on people, because politics get in the way of helping people, and that's what we're here for, is just to help people, take care of our community and anyone around us. So, okay, I want to go ahead.
I think Brandy was still talking and her voice.
Did you cut out when you're still talking, or mute yourself, Brandy? You're muted, Brandy.
What the heck? I lost noise. Hold on. I can't hear anything.
I can hear you now.
Okay. What did you get from what I said?
That we're an open group and that we don't discriminate, and we're here to help everybody.
Yeah, that was my point.
Okay, sounds good.
We keep out of the politics.
Yep.
Keep out of the politics.
Yep.
Don, I saw you raise your hand up, so I'm going to recognize Kurt, and then I'll come to you. Okay, Don?
Okay. Kurt was next then?
Yep, Kurt's next. He's jumping on right now.
Hi, my name's Kurt. I've been in Estacada now for about 7 years. I guess I'm a fortunate person. I've moved around. Sorry, that's my puppy. I've moved all over the country. I've moved over 50 times. And the one thing that I continue to see in small towns, when somebody new comes into town, people look. I mean, it happened to me, people just look because they don't know you. It's not that there's anything nefarious or anything like that, but people do look. It's like, you hear it in every small town, any town that's probably under about 5,000 or 7,000 people. Everybody knows everybody's business. So when somebody new comes into town that they see out and about at the grocery store and they've never seen him before, maybe they just look. It doesn't mean that anything is going on at all. And I mean, just like everyone, Estacada is welcoming. I haven't met a single person in town that I wouldn't sit and shake their hand. I don't drink coffee. I'm not old enough to drink coffee, but I'll have a Coke with you. But that's just the way small towns are. People will stop and look, and it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it absolutely doesn't mean anything. And that's not just Estacada. Like I said, I've moved 50 times because of my career and my dad's career, but it's just the way it is. And just because somebody looks at you doesn't mean they have any ill will or ill intent. It's maybe, hey, I've never seen you before. And, the only way to start a dialogue or a potential friendship is to actually look at somebody. You got to make that initial contact. You know what I mean? But I absolutely love it out here. I'm blessed enough that, like you, Joel, Estacada has welcomed me with open arms. And yeah, did I get looks when I first moved into town? I'm 6'2", 250. I'm follically challenged.
Hey, right there.
And I got accused of being a skinhead. I'm not a skinhead. I can't grow hair on top of my head. I've been going bald since I was 20. So people will just look. And that's all I wanted to say. There's the stuff that people hear on social media or in the news isn't the whole story. That unfortunately we hear half truths, and we don't, nobody's. Estacada is not bad. Estacada is a great place. I absolutely love it out here. That's what I want to say.
If I can jump in, I totally agree with you. I think that kind of the point that I was trying to make is that we have a reputation, and I'm going to say we because it doesn't necessarily hold true. I think that's what I've certainly learned, is that all the jokes about Estacada and all the little quips and the things that people say, when they actually spend time here, they love it, and it's beautiful, and people are friendly and welcoming and outgoing. However, we do have a reputation that precedes us, and that's something that I think that all of us have the opportunity to continue to shape and influence. And that's my only concern when you just hear something like, oh, there's a community patrol, is, well, what are they doing? Who are they looking for? What's the, what I mean? It just kind of opens up this whole like, well, what's wrong with Estacada that they need to have some kind of a patrol? And clearly the other thing that I'm a little unclear of is how and when the local police department was dissolved. I'm sure that was some kind of a tax funding issue, or it was a ballot measure or something of that nature, because I've heard of that happening in Southern Oregon and different counties that are much more rural. And I grew up in a town about twice the size of Estacada in southern Minnesota, so I can also 100% speak to that experience where everybody knows everybody, and you really can't have any kind of anonymity or essentially privacy. I would say that based on my experience in Estacada, it's far superior in just people's respect for each other than it was in the Midwest where I grew up. So, I don't want to give the impression that I'm somehow disgruntled about the community. I just want to make sure that I'm doing my part to continue to advocate for inclusivity and are shaping a welcoming environment, as Estacada grows, because the development is happening fast, and it is a little startling to watch. So
Definitely. Thank you, Mike. We're just to try to keep things in order. If we could, we'll try to keep people in order from speaking in turn. So I appreciate you jumping in and sharing that. Just let me know and I'll put you right back on the list. Okay. Thank you so much. Don, you're recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that we are inclusive, and in our friends and families, there are many, if not all, of those groups you've mentioned. So just because I'm the average white male doesn't mean my son or daughter might go out with somebody else, and I've got no problem with it at all, and they can come on into my home. So we're very welcoming to all groups. And that's really all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
And I'm also on the board, and part of trying to put this group together in that manner, all through our patrols and everything.
Definitely. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. So just to let everybody know, our board members that are on, Brian Short, Christy Merritt, Don Allen are their current board members. Brandy and we see two of them together here. Brandy and Kathy are officers. And then of course me, and I don't see anyone else on. So that's our current team we have right now on.
Is Sharon here?
I think she's under Brian. I think Sharon and Brian are married, so they share the account. So, is there anyone else on the list that would like to speak? Oh, I see Jen over there waving her hand. Okay, Jen, I'm going to go and recognize you, and then Tony, you'll be after Jen. Okay.
Thanks. I don't know if you can hear me okay. I've got a lot of background noise, but I just wanted to thank you guys for putting this together. You guys did a lot even during the fires, which was right in my backyard. So I heard your name a lot, and Brandy, you too. I wanted to get on and thank you guys for everything that you're doing. And I'm going to be getting involved in your group as well. And you already answered my question. When I had my hand raised, I was going to ask you who the board was, because I was trying to get online to see who you guys were, the names that were on there. So
yeah, it's on my list to put that up on the website, and I'm the only one who manages it, but I work full time, do a lot of stuff. So sometimes pushed on the list, but I'll try to get those up for everybody soon.
And then I saw that you have the applications on there now, so I don't need to.
Yep, you can register right through the website now. So.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Excellent. So is that everything? Okay, cool. Tony, I'm going to go and recognize you.
All right. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hey, I can definitely listen to this discussion and hear it as an African American, as well as a guy with one eye, talk about being looked at and definitely wondering, or having people wonder what's going on there. I moved to Estacada 3 years ago, and in our recent climate, I always looked to be careful when to speak, how to speak, where to speak. And I just wanted to put it out there that when during the summertime, when our town was going through what they were going through, I wanted to make sure that I used my platform as a counselor in the area as a one-on-one conversation about political things, and seeing all sides. One of the things that I didn't do is participate in any marches around town or anything, and that was a personal choice. But one of the things I did do is I reached out to Joel on Messenger, and when the Back the Blue event happened, and I told him, I said, when the Back the Blue happened, I was very curious about that because I had a lot of friends who are in law enforcement, both Black, white, and indifferent. And so I understand, and after counseling so many law enforcement, I have a little bit of a cognitive understanding of what they have to go through. So that particular movement really struck my heart, and I knew that group Community Watch was putting it on. And so I was really interested in just being down there, not necessarily marching, but being down there. And I was telling Joel on the way down, I was having feelings that I haven't had. And those feelings were feelings of, like that lady had with a big afro, that feeling of, well, I'm going to be the only dark face down there. What's this going to feel like? What's this going to look like? And I remember calling my wife on the way back, on the way down, and saying, should I keep going? Should I keep going? And I realized, just like I reached out to Joel, I needed to reach out. And as an African-American, I feel like, and as a minority, I feel like it's our job as well to reach out. And so with a lot of anxiety, I went downtown, and it was a great experience. It was what it was supposed to be, an honoring of law enforcement. And then I met Joel a little bit more, and I had the opportunity to meet Brandy through, as we are all displaced from the fires. I got to meet them or both of them, when I went down to help out with just some mental health support down at the Community Watch and our community resource area. And I was pleased to see there was nothing political down there at all, but a community gathered together, but through the vehicle of just helping each other. Felt very at home with Brandy, felt very at home with Joel. And since then, yes, we've become very, very good friends. And just through this opportunity, I can say, as an African-American, as a blind American, I can say that I trust this group. I trust this group. And as Don
Thank
said,
you for that.
yeah, as Don said, I believe it's genuine, as many of you said. So just wanted to put my 2 cents in there.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
So, yes, Tony and I have definitely become good friends over the course of the last few months and stuff, and we've shared many meals together. So, in fact, I think we just helped him move into his new house recently too. That was a lot of carrying up and downstairs. So, definitely nice. Yeah, here. And really a comment here from Ken Fearless. It says, here, nice speech for Tony. So let's see. And Kate said, Mike says, I sincerely appreciate the sentiment. Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? I'm looking at you, Christy, because I don't want to miss you like I have in the past. You good? Nothing? I didn't miss you? Okay. Is anyone else? Chris, let's see your pictures on there. You want to say anything? Nope. Okay. Brandy, are you putting your finger out there because you're getting my attention, or?
No, I was just looking at everybody's faces.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was hoping to say something since there was an opening here.
Go for it. Huh?
I just thought I'd mention to Tony that I noticed he's a heck of a dad. I saw the videos of you and your daughter having some fun, and that was real cool.
I want to point out, I've also seen videos that were
Hey,
the core.
hey.
I haven't shared them yet, Tony. I still got them. So.
Thanks,
Anyway,
guys.
Tony mentioned earlier, but Tony is a counselor here in town, like a mental health counselor, and he's a great guy to talk to, and he gives amazing hugs. So, okay, guys, if there's nothing else as far as the community discussion to go over, I'll just bring up the next meeting real quick. I do see a finger there from Christy. Okay, go for it, Christy. I can't hear you.
I just wanted to tell Tony, we are so blessed as a community to have him. Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. I just want to tell Tony that, we are so blessed as a community to have him and the services he provides to our community, especially our children. I may not have kids, but I know other children that do have visits with him, and he's just such a great aspects. You know, he just provides so much for our community, and we are so thankful to have him as a part of it, and we are blessed to be friends, and
Thank you.
he's a good guy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely. All right. Does anyone else like to speak before we move on to the next meeting details? Okay, don't see anything in comments. Okay. The next meeting, for those who don't know, we do a community meeting every month. That's the second Friday of every month. So that puts the next community meeting on the 8th of January. We will be pushing stuff out, hopefully more than a few days before, like we did this time. And we will have it on Zoom again. Once COVID has kind of passed and we're able to start gathering together, we'll continue the Zoom option, but we'll open up to meeting in person as well. So, but this next month will still be a Zoom meeting. And we hope to see you guys then. The dates to remember are going to be the 20th, if you're going to be getting any presents in, to make sure you get them down here to the office. If you need a special appointment to drop it off, just message us, let us know. If you stop in, I'm usually here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on most days, because I do my work from here so I can be available to people. And I believe you said, when's the wrapping party, Brandy? Did you say the 20th?
21st.
21st, and it will go into the 22nd if necessary, but hopefully we can get it done on the 21st. I'll put more details up there when I know more about our parameters, and then delivery will be on the 23rd.
Sounds good. Well, just keep an eye on the website, guys, for any changes. Make sure you're checking out for on the estacadawatch.org for any of our events, and we'll keep trying to update that. If you guys, I am working on getting all of the memberships forms that have been completed and on paper. I'm trying to get you guys into the website. It's just been a time availability thing. We did, if you guys have noticed, we did remove the Estacada Community Watch group on Facebook, not the page, but the group, to avoid some confusion that we were getting with people trying to get in there for membership and stuff. And we just turned that into like a general communication portal. So if there's anything else, you guys reach out to us on through email, Facebook, give us a call, anything you need. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting. Thanks, guys, and have a great night.
Thank everyone.
Night, everybody.
Thank you.